Hello, I'm back. Okay, I know I'm sorry I've been gone for the last two Sundays, so let me explain really quickly. There's a couple things. Number one, business real estate's picking up a little bit. It's getting a little busier. That's not really the good excuse though. Number two, I was actually gone for a week. I was actually out of town for both of those Sundays. Sunday's the day when I normally do this, as you know, and I'm actually out of town both of those Sundays. I left town on a Saturday. I got home the following a week later, Tuesday, Monday. But anyways, I was gone both Sundays. So I'm so sorry. I'm back and I'm excited to be here because yeah, I got all kinds of things to share. But today, um, I'm going to start by just being a broken record because you know that I say this all the time because it's true. We all have an amazing ability to touch and change people's lives every single day. And we don't know we have this ability, people. We just don't know it. Um, so I got to go back. I'm gonna tell you a story about a lady I met back in November 2004. Her name was Lavinia Holmquist. When I started chemo, I was a wanderer. The first time I started chemo, I was a wanderer. I wandered the halls at Berkeley Herrick campus where I did chemo, and I saw this lady in her room laying in a bed, and the people around the outside of the chemo clinic were in these beds because they were generally the weaker patients. Others of us sat in chairs and got chemo, right? Um, I'm wondering. I walked by, caught her eye. I went in. I said hello. We sat down, and I befriended her so many years ago, and she's still part of my life to this day. She is one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. She's an older lady who I could tell almost immediately, a woman sort of ahead of her time, if you will, right? She's smart. She's not that women aren't smart. I'm sorry. That's not what I'm saying. She was just independent, strong-willed, opinionated. We had amazing conversations. She lived with her sister. She told me over the weeks about the condo they shared overlooking Lake Merritt in Oakland and how beautiful it was. I got to know her. Well, as the weeks passed, chemo did a number on her and she just wasn't doing well. So I remember one day sitting in the waiting room. Her sister rolled her in and I let her get settled and I went over just to see how she was doing. I went over and I remember kneeling down in front of her because she was sort of like all, humped over like this, right? And I wanted to I didn't want her to have to look up. She was weak, not doing well. So I remember leaning down and looking up at her and just holding her hand or had my hand on her knee or something like that and talking to her, just talking about how was your weekend, um, making small talk. And I remember at some point starting to tell her a story. Hang in there with me. I'm sorry, I'm long winded. Telling her this story, I don't remember the story I was telling her, but I said something like, I was talking about my sister and I said, her and I did this or something like that, or her and I went down to the grocery store. And as I was saying that, her frail little arm, I can still picture this, reached up and just tapped me lightly on the shoulder. And she kept tapping. And finally I stopped talking and I was like, Lavinia, what? What's up? And she's like, Kip, it's she and I. It's she and I. And I went, oh yeah. I said her and I went to the grocery store, whatever it was I was saying. And it's she and I went to the grocery store, right? That's who she was. She didn't want me going out into the world using improper grammar because she knew that I was better than that, right? That's who she was. So fast forward. This past week I'm watching Judge Judy, okay? Yeah, I'm watching Judge Judy on my iPad or something, just to kill some time, right? And the plaintiff was talking to Judge Judy and saying, her and I did this, and her and I did this, and her and I, and she kept saying her and I. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so wrong. But in that moment, Lavinia Holmquist was right there. She's right with me. And she made me smile. I smiled because of Lavinia Holmquist. This woman that I adored, that I loved, that I met almost 20 years ago, who died in 2005. I got to go to that condo that she used to tell me about. After her funeral, the family had a service and they had people over. I got to see where she sat and looked out over Lake Merritt. And it was beautiful. I remember that. I remember her because somebody said her and I. So even though she's gone, she's still with me. And this is a reminder to all of us. I keep saying it. I know I'm a broken record. You're getting the same message from me every week, but I don't want you to forget it. We all have an amazing ability to touch people's lives and change their lives every single day, and we don't know it. This is a woman who changed my life in 2004. September, 2004 is when I met her, the end of 2004. And she's still affecting me, making me smile. So go out into the world and connect with people. You don't know the extent to which you're having an impact on their life. So I'll be back next Sunday. I miss you. Please shoot me an email. Go to my website. Schedule a Zoom meeting with me. I want to connect with somebody out there who's watching this. Improbablejoy.com. Click on my calendar. Schedule a meeting. Love.